Alright guys, I got a couple more pieces off. We got Clyde Kitty right there, who we've had probably about 8 years. Acts as though he's never seen me before. He's a strange cat. But anyway, got the skid plate slash bar off, which one of the bolts is kind of stuck in there, so I'm going to have some fun. Let me zoom in down there. You can see. Right there. That bolt right there. Right there on the left. Yeah, that one's kind of stuck in there. So PB Blaster it is. Try to get that out of there without rounding it off too much more. You'll notice there is a little connector right there. That was sitting inside the air inlet. So, and I'm guessing that's the blinker for the turn signals that are non-existent on this bike. So. Actually, I'm going to reach out to Dale on that too, because he's got his twin jet, which I think is a 70 or 71 that he's working on, and he did get some turn signals for it, and this thing appears to take the same style of turn signals, so I'll get with him on that. Other than that, yeah, I got rusty bolts everywhere. Had to get out the big dog impact, you know, so we can continue on, but making some slow progress here. Yeah, what else do I got to do? I just keep continuing taking off stuff. This wire loom right here is rock hard, so I'm going to have to carefully try to cut this off. And the way this runs inside here, this runs inside the tube, no big deal. But the wires that actually run down to what I'm pointing at, right here, your voltage regulator, those run up over the inside of the frame and then back down. So yeah, and with this stuff being wrapped on the inside of the frame, it's kind of stiff in there. We'll get to it then, guys. We'll get to it. We'll knock it out. We'll have this thing apart here in no time. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Knock it out in no time. So I say. Oh, buddy, I don't know why I get myself into these projects, but I love these old bikes, and yeah, they're a handful and they're a challenge, but yeah, it's actually kind of fun, you know, especially when you're bored up here in boring Indiana, you know. Of course, I feel for Dale. He's out there in Montana, and I'm sure it's even more craptacular there. But anyway, I won't go on with that. Just having some fun here, so be back in a minute. Okay guys, this bike takes some odd metric sizes, 13s. Well, shit, you can't even see me. Let me see if I can get you down here. See if that's better. Yeah, this is the skid plate and the foot pegs. And this one here is rounded over. Now, yeah, I put PB Blaster on it, and it's just kind of rounding out the bolt. So that bolt's still good, but what you want to do is kind of, you know, shoot your PB Blaster in there, kind of back it out, like you're taking it off a little bit, and then run it back in, because, you know, you don't want this bolt to break off inside there. That would not be good. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure we can get it out, but we don't want to create more work for ourselves if we don't have to. Alright, so on that pile there, this should slide right off. I say that, it should come off here, like so. Well, that is a rusty pile of foot pegs there. Yeah, I don't think that'll even fit in my ultrasonic. I don't know, it might if I take these foot pegs off, which probably need to come off and be cleaned anyway, so we'll put that into our pile of parts. Then we got this thing here, which I can put parts of this into the ultrasonic and clean it up somewhat, or hit it, take it off, mount it up. Still got to get the horn out of here. I don't know. Let's see if that'll come off. What size is this one? What is this? We got here 13. Let's see if that's a 13. And I believe that one's a 14. Yep, that's 14. Let's see if they'll come out. What the hell? I don't think so. Yeah, that is not wanting to come out of there. Got some leverage on it. What up? Ooh. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to take the torch to those things, heat them up. I mean, I suppose I could leave it on there. Wish I got these glued on reflectors there. Yeah, I'll let this sucker sit overnight, put some PB Blaster down on it. See what that does. I really don't like leaving my sockets laying on the ground. These cats come in here and everything's a ping pong ball to them. So we're gonna let that sit overnight. Maybe tomorrow I'll hit it with some heat. What else can we go down the row on? Well, we'll have to move you guys over and we'll go over to the other side. We still gotta get the oil tank off. We'll let that horn sit. Put our sockets back so I don't lose those. Yeah, I mean, this bike is complete, guys, but I'm telling you, man. Whoa, doggy. One of these bolts are rusted on here. I haven't broke any yet, so that's a good thing. So we'll move over here to this side. And okay, so on this side, let me get the oil can off. I'm going to have to source a, I actually seen some on eBay. Of course that's screwed on there. Let me shoot that with PB Blaster. We'll let that sit overnight. I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute for the evening. Make me some meat. We'll douse that good. Yeah, while we're here, let's douse these screws again. We're going to take this rear fender off. Shoot some up in here. See if we'll be able to loosen those up. Put some on your back. You know what I'm talking about. Back. Shocks! That's the word I'm looking for. And we'll shoot some in here. All over the nice and not clean garage floor. Okay, what am I missing here? There's a screw there to something. I don't know what would go there. This brake mechanism. Yeah, I didn't turn my screen around. It looks rough. Rough. Hopefully that's an achievable part. There's something else that goes right here if the camera is seeing you. Let me turn my lens around. Yes. Right here. Something goes there, and I'm guessing it's going to be a spring of sorts. I will have to look on the parts diagram, see if I can track that down. But back wheel spin's great, man. That's a plus. These tires are dry rotted and definitely need to be replaced, but okay, damn, they're holding air. So amazing. Oh, I still need to squirt some PB Blaster up on this connector. See if we can get that off. That is for the throttle and oil injection cable. put some more down in here because we're gonna end up pressure washing this thing anyway. So that, guys, looks to be rubber pegs are still good. That's good. Oil tank is fine. Yeah, it's tiny. Maybe an 8. Maybe an 8 mil. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, where's my 8? Well, it's not an 8. It's gotta be a 9. I'm telling you, man, this bike has weird sized bolts. Most of these bikes are 10s and okay, so that's a 9. So let me give me another 9. Great. Yeah. Well, that came out relatively pain-free. So we'll stick it back through so we don't lose our nut. That's kind of weird. Actually, it screws through the other side, but also has a nut on it. That'll have to be taken off, and obviously this will be, I'm going to have to source a new one because the cap's broke. And this thing does not want to screw in. So, I don't know, maybe if I wrap some Teflon tape around it, it'll hold. That'll be a test for another day. Put that in our pile of parts. Okay, so this here bracket goes to the exhaust, which, yes, I did. I ordered that exhaust. So, I know. I said I wasn't going to. But I got the engine running, so, or at least coughing over, so we know that the engine's viable. And it did seem to shift through the gears. Of course, I don't know how well the clutch is, but it looked okay. And I rev it up, pop it, and break the pads free, and you're good to go, man. Okay, so we still got to take off the rear shocks. I'm going to wait to do the swing arm. I got to disconnect this line down here where my finger is for the brake. So I'll do that tomorrow. Cotter pins are just rusted right off there. So we'll zip those off and snap them. This does have a chain guard. This bike didn't have it on it, but they do. I think I found one on eBay. So, yeah. I guess tomorrow we'll, or when you see this next, which will probably be tomorrow, get some more of these body parts off and get it down to the frame. Wait for it to hit 60, 50, mid-50s here, and get out the pressure washer and go to town on cleaning that, and then we can sand it and need to decide on what paint I'm going to use, guys. Hint, hint. My choice is really red, black, or yellow. So, and everything else I got is pretty much black. I know the Suzuki's got an orange tank and orange side panels, but I don't know. I kind of like that canary yellow I used on the Honda Express. So, I might end up going that route. I don't know. I haven't decided. We'll decide together. All right, back in flash. Okay, guys, I got the petcock off, and we're going to take it apart so I can put it in the ultrasonic. There's a gasket here. Yeah, I don't want to. That seems fairly pliable. Looks like there is a filter down in there. Filter basket. Okay, let's take this side. I do have this. Now I'll show you in a sec. I don't know if this tube comes out. But we're going to set these little screws aside. I don't want to lose those. There is a metal washer. I'm just going to leave all that together. And then here is that washer. You can see two of the holes are plugged. Poking device. Well, that or I don't know if they're plugged or blocked off. This actually doesn't feel too bad. And I can't tell. Looks like one of those holes is closed. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be closed. I don't know. And then I don't want to try taking this tube out of here yet. I'm going to let it soak. This thing has got some serious, I don't know if you'll be able to see down in there, but it's got some serious gunk buildup in it. So we're going to let that. This thing here still feels actually pretty soft. And I remember that orientation. Okay, so there is a big hole in there, and that's what this washer goes over. I don't know, I'm going to let it soak. And we'll come back to that. And then while I'm soaking it, I got a couple of the engine and frame guard bolts. I got those down in here. And these are some of the other top screws, which I think two of them are the seat pan. I have no idea still what the other two are for. They don't seem to really do anything or hold anything, but I'm going to throw those in the ultrasonic. So back here in a minute. Okay, guys, got the finally got this thing cleaned, and this hole right there where my finger is must be the reserve for this one right here. All that thing was completely plugged. I mean, it took me a while to get that thing cleaned out, but I got the screen here. That's clean. Now this washer was down inside here, and I don't have a replacement, so I got the Harbor Freight Viton O-ring assortment, and I used a it's an A110 9.19 by 2.62. We'll see if that works, Ted. Not sure. Now, this little gasket right here, hopefully if you have one of these and you take this off, this bottom piece here off, this thing is in good shape. This gasket is $31. So, and it's kind of concaved. I don't know if you can tell in that picture there. But that sits over top of that bowl right there. So we're going to take that and put that back in here. It's it's a little stiff, but whoa. Gonna drop in my pieces. It's a little stiff, but I think it'll still work. We're going to screw this bottom back in. Okay, then we have this little washer right here that goes like so. And just flops right down in there. And one of the holes looks like it is plugged permanent. So we're going to leave that as it is. Then we're going to take our little piece here and put this back over. I did not take it apart, so it's still got the little metal washer on it. So we'll put this tiny little screws back in here. I'm guessing that's lined up right. Guess we'll find out here in a minute. Okay, so that should be stop. And then that should be on. And that should be, I think I may have something backwards. I'm not blowing through it really good. Well, let's double check this thing here. Okay, so maybe I have this backwards. And maybe, let's see here. Well, maybe it goes like that. So then that would be stop. Maybe I just had it reversed. I don't know. We're going to find out. May have to go look back at my video. I didn't really pay much attention when I took this apart. And then it may still need that washer on the inside. So that would be stop. Nothing. This would be on. Blowing through it. And this would be reserve. don't know. I don't know about the reserve side of it, but yeah, I'll tinker with it. And we'll put this top piece back down on here, which is reverse thread. And that may work. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'll throw this chewed up washer in that selection there, but I know in the on position you can see there is a dot and it says on. You know, I still need to put this in the Aluma Bright Cleaner, but it's definitely blowing out of the filter screen at the top, which is still intact, believe it or not. So we're going to leave that like that, and then we're going to move on to taking some more stuff off this bike. So, and I still got to get the other screws out of the ultrasonic over there, put some of these front fender ones in there. So, all right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna start taking some bolts off here for this fender, and I'm noticing these wires back here. They run down through this back fender, and it looks like at some point somebody had cut and put new ends on those. So I don't think they're going to come through that fender with those big honking connectors on there, so I'll have to cut those off. I can just leave the light on, take that off later. Okay, set those there. Let's see here. See if I can get these off without. Okay, come on, 10 mil, stay on there. And I know I'm going to need side cuts, which are down on the floor over there. And then I'm debating whether I want to leave the swing arm on for the time being or take it off. Okay, I don't see any other whatchamacallits. So let's go ahead and cut these connectors off. We'll just later on down the road, we'll put some new ones on. I need to be able to get this wire through. That's going to be easier said than done. Okay, got that off. Yeah, it don't look horribly bad under there. I need to get, I don't know, several gallons of that rust stuff. Rust blast, media blast, whatever that stuff's called. And then find something I can lay this in big enough. Okay, so we got the back fender off. Let's, well, I say we go ahead and take the shocks off. I gotta not lose that piece. And see what size these are. 17. I don't know, man. These shocks are in rough shape. I'd love to be able to fix them. Okay, so on the left side of the bike, it's a 17 millimeter. And on the right side of the bike, it is a 14 mil. All right, so before I get ahead of myself, I need to mark these. We'll need one for the fender, and we'll need one for the shocks. I still got more bolts. I got to take off the fender for the rear light. Making progress. Holy man, these things are so corroded. You know, I got one of those Harbor Freight sandblasting cabinets in the back. I have no idea if it works. But I could try to blast these shocks. I don't know how well that's going to work, but I guess it's worth a shot. I did see a used set on eBay. Wasn't too terribly expensive. They're much better shape than these. They are used, but I think he wanted, I want to say 30 bucks for the shocks, and then like 30 bucks shipping. I don't know, maybe these nuts, maybe I should get the powder coating machine out and powder coat them. Okay, now what size is that? Did that back to 17? Whoa! Yep, 17. Suckers are on there, man. I'm just throwing things everywhere. Okay, so big washer, lock washer. I got one of those tumblers too. I might could try putting them in the tumbler. Okay, that does have a bushing behind it on both sides. Alright, I need a screwdriver. And I know I'm going to need a hammer for the other side. So there's a bushing and then another flat washer on the right side. Knock this thing loose. Man, these bushings and stuff are in rough shape. I mean, rough shape. And a new set of shocks for these is, like everything else, ridiculously expensive. I don't know if that piece comes off. Kind of looks like it's threaded on there. Yeah. You can see over here where my finger is. I can't really tell. Tell you what though. I mean, it might be. I don't know. Can't really tell. Okay, so back wheel is free. We got these shocks here. Yeah, those are pretty nasty. I'll put them in the ultrasonic and see if it cleans them up any, at least. And then maybe, like I said, get that sandblast cabinet out. Oh, I got the wrong bag here. I apologize if you're hearing wind noise. It's actually like 56 degrees today, so I've got the door open. Okay, well, I guess I need to go ahead and disconnect this back brake arm. I'm going to have to try to zip that off there, because I don't think that those cotter pins, unless I can put a small screwdriver in there and pry them up, I don't think they're going to come off. Let's see here. Yep, and they're broke off at the bottom. Okay, I got the bottom one out. And what size is that? The bottom one is a 13. I will just leave for the moment. I'll just put the screw back on it. Okay, need to see about, I need something else. I need something else. Something small and pointy. And that promptly broke off. Trying to shove a punch into the cotter pin. Worked great. Okay, so we got that, wheel is loose, so I need to take those screws off the other side. Okay, so on the back wheel here, I don't know how well you're seeing me. On the right side there's a spacer, your chain adjustment thing, which that is a rusty mess. Rusty mess on the other side. And then there is a pin. We need to pull this pin out. Out come the spacer. And there is I need, what do I need? There is a nut over here. I'll show you. Right there. See that nut? That's got to come off. And let me get an adjustable wrench. We have the new Nipix adjustable wrench pliers. Christmas present from the boy. See if this will, you push it in and get your height or width and unscrew it. Alright, now the thing with the back wheel, oh I got the brake arm, is this sprocket assembly will come out of here, right here. I can't see. Right here. This whole thing will pull out, so you gotta be mindful of that. And let's take off this arm here. Oh, that thing is seriously rusted on there. Okay, so let's take off the brake adjuster. Try to take off the brake adjuster. Actually, we can just take that and lay it down, and then worry about taking off the brake adjuster. Alright, so we got that piece. Let's see if we can turn actually no, I'll wait and put that on because I want to kind of keep everything in the back wheel here together. on there, man. Seriously rusted on there. Okay, go ahead and see if we can get this off. Then we'll worry about what? Oh, we'll worry about getting that arm off later. See if we can just get that. Okay, need a stiffer screwdriver. Had one over here. See if we can open up this brake piece. Come off. Well, brake shoes don't look bad. PB Blaster. I still need to open up just a bit more. Well, it is kind of moving. Kind of, sort of. I'm going to soak these brake adjusters, sorry, the wheel adjusters. We'll soak those. Alright, so back to our dilemma here. Now just take this screw all the way out. That's probably what's holding it in there. I do believe it is. Because it should have that little round ring in there that will cause that to not come off. Let's see if we can give it a tap now. There we go, guys. Back brake is off. We'll go ahead and stuff that back in there. And we'll put our rod back through. Try to put our rod back through. Okay. What is that hitting? Oh. Duh. Rod goes through that side. I'm working on it. I'm right here. I'm just trying to get this rod back into this wheel. Back through the wheel. There we go. So I can put this hub assembly in until I'm ready to work on this, and I don't have to label extra parts. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw those brake adjusters in that box because I know where those go. Okay, that'll keep everything from falling off the wheel. And we'll go ahead and stick this screw back in here. We still got to get this gotta get the swing arm off. It looks like, I don't know, I might look at the parts diagram. Looks like there was something that's screwed, or maybe there isn't, on the right side of this swing arm over here. I'll kind of show you here. I'll move the camera back around, and I guess, yeah, guess we'll, we need to get this brake mechanism off, and the wires for the brake switch are coming through the, looks like they're coming through the swing arm. Yes, they are. Nope, they go, maybe they're underneath it. But, yeah, they're coming up underneath it. But that brake lever is attached. That brake switch is attached to, oh, you never can have enough light. Let me get my light. Okay, the brake switch is attached to the swing arm, and I need to get my camera and take a picture of this. I see where the rod goes, and I don't know. Oh, okay, there is a nut there. Yeah, I'll see if I can zoom in and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, if you look right there where I'm zooming in, oh, head rush. You'll see right where the kind of the base of that flashlight is to the left. There's a nut that holds it into the bottom of the swing arm, and then there is right there. That's where that little cotter pin is, where the spring, where the arm mechanism goes through there. So I need a very small pair of pliers. See if we can, oh, I need my camera too, so I can take a picture of that whole setup. Because I will definitely forget, because I'll get sidetracked with something else and then forget exactly what I did. Okay, so Sorry. My big head's going to be here in the way here in a minute. Because yeah, that's just dandy. It's just dandy. Okay. Well, that is a fine howdy do. Yeah, it's just breaking right off here. I was trying not to break that, because now I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get this washer here off. There's not really much left to grab onto. Oop. Crap. Okay. Well, let's go with Plan B. Well, Plan B ain't working too well either. Plan B was to Plan B may, yeah, Plan B ain't gonna really work. I need to hold this. I don't think those wires, I don't think it matters what position they are. But we're going to have to disconnect those wires. Let something come off. No, and of course they're stripped. Of course. Well, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And don't want to lose that clip. Oh, man. Okay. Let's try this. Maybe a 14. Let's see. It may be bigger than a 14. If I can get the, yeah, that's 14. Okay, all right, so let's try to put the pliers onto here. Keep this from moving. And we can spin. All we gotta do is loosen this up a little bit so we can get it to drop down. Or pull out to the side. There we go. Okay, so that is out. Okay, got that one loose. I think that one's loose. I can try. So all you gotta do is loosen them up enough to get the little spade connectors off. Okay, so that is off. We have success there. Oh man, great, okay. So here's all this assembly. Okay, that is off. And okay, so we've got that. This all goes to this stuff. So I'll set that aside because I'm going to have to work on getting this nut. Actually, let me turn my screen around here again. Can't ever see. Okay, we've got this adjustment nut back here. We got to figure out how to get that loose, maybe heat this thing up. I'll take a wire, put it on the wire wheel, clean up those threads. Clean this rod. We still got to get this whole brake thing off of here. And I'm hoping it works. I know this boot's kind of crusty, but I think we can heat it up well enough to, I'll do a continuity check on it. Yeah, so if we don't have to replace it, I won't. Okay, so now, really, all that's left over here is the swing arm. We still need to get that bracket off there. Let's see what size that is. I believe it's 17. Yes. All these threads on everything on here are so crusty. Let me get a wire brush. Or wire wheel. Clean these threads off here. Yeah, my batteries are broke from being dropped a million times. But that should allow us to get this off a little easier. I will leave that attached. Because that's going to be a project. I do not have a thing for the brakes. Okay, so what next, guys? Swing arm? Did I hear you say swing arm? I think that's what I heard you say. Okay, let me move this wheel. All right, we are making progress, guys. I know it's going to be a long video, but it'll give you guys something to watch. Okay, so we need to get that off. 14. I don't see any grease points on the swing arm. There are bushings in there. Okay, that is a 17. So let's get the impact, because that sucker is in there. Okay, well, my 17 millimeter socket is MIA at the moment, so let's grab another one. Bet that's spinning. Yep. Alright, what we got on this side? Is that a 17 too? I need more hose. Noise, air compressor kicked on. Well, let me get a punch so we can knock that out of there. Try to knock it out of there. Let's see how well this works. Okay, swing arm is off. Okay, so let's put our nuts and washers and all of that back on. I need to clean those threads up because this screwed onto the end of that. Yeah, like I said, I got to look in the parts diagram because I don't know what is supposed to attach to the end of that. Okay, so I'll set this aside so I can clean that up, get those back on. Okay, so we got the swing arm. Swing arm is off. Set Set that out there. Okay, so we've still got the center stand on here, which I'm guessing this ring is, whoa. We also got a front tire on here still, guys. I am kind of guessing that there is a pin. I don't know if this thing moves or not. Yes, there's a pin right through where you see me hammering that holds the center stand on. So, at this point, this is going to be entertaining. So I gotta get the front wheel off, and yeah. Let's see here. I have kind of an idea. Don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Need some more safety wire. I think this piece here is going to be long enough. No. Need a slightly longer piece, guys. So, let's take one of these down. I use all these, I leave them all hanging in the garage here because when I paint stuff, I hang things from the ceiling. This at least should keep the bike from completely falling over, right? So I still got the triple tree attached. Not to say it ain't going to go flying, but okay. Let's see here. So I think I did knock that loose earlier. Needs to come off. Hope you're seeing. You should be seeing what I'm seeing. Or seeing me, at least. $13 or 14? Ah, it's a 14. Rim's got a nice little ding in it. Now notice that. Okay, there's that. There's that. I don't know what those little screws are. They don't look like bleeder valves, but I have been wrong before. Let's see if they come off. Yeah, I don't think, unless the fender, the original front fender, must screw into those. Because I don't see, there's nothing, it's not doing anything. spacer. Looks to be a spacer on the right side over here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that screw at the bottom does either, unless it is like a kind of a keeper, so to speak. Keep that wheel from falling off. Okay, should be able to pull the front wheel off. Look at that, guys. Safety wire did its safety job. Whoa! Whoa! It don't look too bad in there. These brake shoes don't look bad either. Clean them up. Put a little sandpaper on them. A little brake clean. Save myself a buck or two. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that is exactly what that screw does. Puts tension on the axle rod. Keep it from flying off. Let's put this wheel over here. Okay. What now? Now we got these. I don't know if they're going to come out of here. They are loose. I did take the bolts out at the top. And there is, it might need to be split just a little bit. Okay. Well, I don't want to put anything down in there for fear of it's threaded. So these should, well, I guess, yeah, I guess I'm taking the triple tree off because this may have to come off. Actually, let me aim you back up here. This may have to come off in order for the headlight bucket ears. So let's reposition our safety wire here, guys. Okay, I think that was a 17. Yes, it was. We'll put this in the triple tree bag. There it was, right in front of me. Good thing it wasn't a snake, right? This should tap off. Good question. Let me get my rubber mallet. Or I should say plastic mallet. And let's see. There is a screw under there, but that is that's for the whatchamacallit, bearings. I think it's going. Or not. Okay, what am I missing, guys? I see no other screws. There's nothing there. That is where the turn signals would go. There is nothing under there. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let me go round up a... I just blinded myself. Let me go round up a block of wood, and we'll try wedging that under there. So I'll be back.